Ignore her, especially with Alex.
No, it's a great question.
What?
It actually is.
I'm haunted. Fun fact.
We're going to learn lots about this group tonight, folks. Can everybody see me in the screen?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm an orange cube, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so everything behind me is blue, right, or black. So if you take me out of the picture, it's going to fluctuate. It's going to turn the trees up there orange, blue, and all kinds of different colors. You guys see how that works? Yeah. So the difference there, if you put me back in, it's going to fluctuate based on whatever's inside the screen. Okay, so what we're looking for here, I have it set to white hot, black cold. What does that mean for you? All I need one person to do is to keep this held horizontal all night long. You may catch something tonight, and it might be a blue spot going by. It also puts white lines around things that might be an actual object. You have to remember, this does not see in 3D. It only sees heat signatures. So, again, the video camera person, I'm going to hand off to Lee. All I need you to do is hold it, just like that, all night long. Do you see that red square on there?
Yeah.
If it turns to a circle,
Gotcha.
hit it again.
Gotcha.
Because the red square means it's recording. I'll check in with you several times throughout the night. The camera is obviously on your left-hand side, and the lens is on the bottom left.
Sure.
Okay, so literally horizontal all night long. All right, this is the neuralizer from Men in Black. None of you are going to remember anything when we're done. It's actually a grid. So what does a grid do for us? It actually, take a look at my hand, it will actually help us see things we can't see with the naked eye. Keep it on the cars are coming by. You're probably wondering what the heck we're doing. So, a little demonstration of what this will actually look like in the event we actually have an apparition that comes through here. Step back.
What?
You guys see the green streaks right up here?
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
You want to do it again?
Yeah, please.
You just want me to keep smoking? I'm okay with that. Now, granted, the ghost isn't going to hang out in there and say, hey, here I am. It's going to be very quick. That's why I flashed my hand. It's literally you're going to see that at the peripheral light of your eye. That's how it's going to work. And since you're already scared of it, it's going to go to you.
Oh, I'm not scared. No,
I've
experienced it.
No, that is a laser, and it will shoot super far. So you seem somewhat sober. And I will usually say when it's safe to do lasers. Okay. We also have another one.
Crazy, man.
This one
I
gives us...
don't want that one.
You're getting this one too. You're getting both.
I'm getting both.
She's not capable of him.
No, she's not.
So, what does this one do? This one, in the event we actually capture something right in the center of it, notice that it's squares. And in squares, you can actually put it in 3D software and have a full 3D view of what we saw. How cool is that, right? I have not caught anything with this guy yet, but hopefully
You're being serious.
I'm being dead
It's
serious.
a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
Am I getting paid?
No. What's funny is I was just telling these folks, so next year, hopefully, fingers crossed, I get accepted for my PhD, and they allow me into the program where I will be allowed to study the paranormal and write books about it. So you guys are collecting all of the data for my dissertation. So technically, you are working for me. Let's go with the red one first. Actually, I'll explain this one. All right, so spirit boxes. Anybody not know what a spirit box is?
I don't know what a spirit box is.
All right, perfect. So spirit boxes sweep through the radio stations. I have it set up to FM, and it sweeps through them very, very fast. If you've ever watched a ghost hunting show, it's that very staticky noise that you hear. And you wait for something to come over top. We use it a little bit differently because every ghost hunter does things differently. I listen for any type of radio DJ, song lyric, commercial, or a disembodied voice to come over top. Now, this one does not record. So I usually assign one of these to two people so that they can listen. They set it to speak to give you guys a gist. Everybody kind of get the gist of that?
Is that what it's supposed to be?
That's exactly what it's supposed to be. So when it comes through and we actually hear a word that we can actually make out, that's what we need to listen for. So, you actually had a pretty astonishing one. I'm going to hand this off to the two of you. So the two of you are going to listen in and verify each other. There's only one button on there. It's on the back of the speaker. It's in the center. Turn it on, turn it off. Okay. So when I say spirit boxes up, that's when you guys get your
I'll
button.
tell you what,
and
I'll
let you
get me
go.
lazy.
Now this is another spirit box, so I'm going to kind of separate. I'm going to actually hand it off to the two of you. This one actually does things a little differently because it records for us and it has a built-in speaker, so you guys don't have to worry about anything besides the volume button. Now when it's on mute in real time, when we can't hear it, it is still recording. That's the cool thing. You're going to get this recording back. So just kind of like the static you just heard on the other spirit box, that's the SP7. This one does the exact same thing, but you guys already know what you're listening for.
What you gonna get? Nothing? Whatever you get, we might switch. Oh, that's messed up, man. Whatever you get, let's switch,
What
alright?
do you got next? Look at London playing my Vanna White. I know, she's doing great. Vanna White.
English, please.
Age, please.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're doing a lot with temperature tonight. In the event, Lee, sorry, I had to remember names. Lee is
Yeah.
standing where I am, and he has a thermal imaging, and he says, hey Nick, there's a blue spot right in the center of that wall. The first thing I want to do is debunk it, because I'm not going to make anything up for you guys. So what this is actually going to do, it's only going to measure what the red dot touches. You should all know what this guy is by now, right? You've all seen this. So I'm literally going to measure the wall all the way across and see that it's the same temperature all the way across. So there's really no reason for a blue spot to be there. So I now know that the blue spot, or the cold spot, is between Lee and the wall. That's where this guy comes in. So what this guy's actually going to do is measure the ambient temperature through the top of it so I can find out where the cold spot is and solidify Lee's findings. Does that make sense?
Sure.
I know, it's a lot. He's going to go to you since he already has the thermal, so that way you guys can actually work together. All right, Mr. Skeptic,
Ready?
listen up. This is my skeptic tool. Why? Because it's the most active. This is the first thing that tells us that something's actually happening. What do we have left? Camera. I think we did not get something. Two of you and the skeptic. All right, so we'll get that figured out.
Yeah.
All right, so this is an electromagnetic field meter. So what does this guy measure? Obviously electromagnetic fields. So there's three types. The first one's natural, comes from the earth. That's why it's green. The second one will give us pulses, which is from anything electronic or man-made. We don't want that either. It's going to give us a rhythm. I know, I'm boring at the beginning. I got to get you guys. I see a lot of yawn. Yes. What's the question?
There's a chance that they're like gonna follow us back.
Yes, there is.
There
Well,
is
with
one.
Alex, yeah.
Oh my god.
it
My
happens.
sister is haunted.
I'm going to get into that
Okay.
because there are precautions that we're
Okay.
going to
Go
So
ahead.
the third one is going to be where this thing actually goes a little nuts and goes crazy, and you can't make out if it's a rhythm or not.
Then I would love that.
Give them to her. She's the bride.
I am so into this stuff.
Give
That
her
is
the
all
most
you got.
important thing ever. That you have.
Well, she needs to speak up when it's going crazy.
Okay, I definitely
She's
will.
very
And last but not least, so what?
Can I give her this?
No.
You gave Evan two.
I have two.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
it is. But that's kind of the way how this works.
She's
And
not
something
that
I
responsible.
change it up almost every
Two
tour.
of them. Give
I
them to
I
Rob.
don't want.
Yeah, Rob is scared.
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 This is a simple point shoot camera. All you need to do is take pictures. It's
Ooh.
the rule of thumb.
I'll take the pictures and give her this.
No, you have
Hang on. The rule here with the camera is nobody along the wall can be in the pictures. None of you signed waivers for that.
Cute.
Take your own pictures then. This is my camera. Because you guys are going to get all these pictures back, and none of you signed waivers, and it does go public. So therefore,
Right.
if any of you are in the pictures, you don't get them back. I cut you out, especially if there's paranormal activity.
Do you want the camera?
You take this
There
and I'll
is
take
no
the pictures.
flash on this.
Okay.
The reason for that is because we don't want any false positives. Meaning
So I
if
could only take this way.
well, you can take pictures of pretty much anything, and if any of you fall into the picture, then I cut you out.
Right.
Great thing about technology today. All right, couple last things. I am going to use a few things on my phone. And you're probably thinking, your phone, really? So
What does he get?
I don't need anything.
Yes, he does.
He's going to follow you around.
Listen. Just listen.
Alright.
Emerson's.
I have a backup EMF in case our other EMF dies. I just changed the battery this morning, but I have had to use backups in the past. The other thing that I use is a spirit box on my phone. So this one will actually give us a list of words right here in the center. Words will pop up one at a time. It will save the list for us, and then you guys get that list back. Getting that list back, this last tour actually had 76 entries. I'm going to clear them out. This app is meant to be a game and a hoax. Only 20% of it is actually relevant to what's going to happen tonight. The other 80% is BS. Doesn't mean anything. It's up to us to figure out what's what, and when I give those words back to you, I'm going to show you how it's relevant with a link to verify it. Okay? So there's that. One last tool.
I'm just supposed to do pictures.
That's it. That's all you got to do. One last.
Do I hold this button?
I'm going to get there. Yeah, for that one, you have to hold it, and then the other one actually has a toggle. So your first place that we're going to go to, guys, is a really quick teach and train. Like, you guys kind of get to wander a little bit, and me and London will bounce around with you to kind of show you things. So this one is a reverse spirit box. This is actually how, on your audio, you will hear a lot of this, because this is how I communicate with, when I'm trying to communicate, like make an EVP session. So what it does is it takes the FM radio stations, and it puts them in reverse. So if I hear something come through forward, I know I was meant to hear it. So you're going to hear this a lot with the car passes. So if it's an answer to a question I've been asking, then I know it's definitely legitimate. Okay? So I can run both of those at the same time. Now, we start here for a reason. The place that you're leaning on is haunted. This place used to be called Big John's. Now stay on there, you're good. Big John is friendly. Big John was a football player for the 1947 Giants. Football player. Go away. So, Big John used to sit in the back of the bar and used to tell the bartender if the cadets that came over from the Citadel were of age or not, so they can have a drink. One night he just saw two guys, told the bartender they're not of age. The thermal imaging camera cannot see through windows. Just so you know.
You saw me, didn't you?
You were supposed to warn him.
Should I pay attention?
It's all good.
So, but anyway, he pissed off two guys, they left. They come back the next night, they steal the cash register from the front of the bar. Big John pulls out his gun and he kills one. So the bullet hole ricocheted and is still inside the bar. The last owner, Payne Rumbar, did not remove the bullet hole or fill it in. So it said that anybody that sits in the front of the bar will start to not feel well, dizzy, queasy, throwing up, any of those things. I've already heard some of those things from some of you tonight that has happened on other tours. Now, in the event somebody from your party is not feeling well, and it's not due to any kind of drunkenness or bugginess, I am going to expect you are going to speak up for that person not feeling well. You're never going to say, let's continue on, I'm good. I promise you. I've had people pass out. I've had witches not be able to make it. Literally witches. Good, because I should.
Good.
That's how
I'm
serious
glad.
I take this. So,
Oh, I'm excited.
so again, it's muggy tonight. Some of you had a few drinks, so please pay attention to how you're feeling. I know how this is going to affect me. I don't know how it's going to affect any of you. I am CPR trained, but I don't want to use it.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have anxiety, so like, how do I tell the difference?
It's okay, you're fine.
No, I know, but I don't know how I tell the
Thank you,
difference.
Tori.
I will kind of walk you through it. You tell me how you're doing, and I'll tell you what's happening. Is that fair?
There.
With my
We have a
epilepsy?
nurse.
No, we don't.
Alright. So, the other happening at this building was the 1886 earthquake that we had on a 7-point Richter scale. A piece of the mantlines fell off this building and killed somebody. His ghost is said to be seen right here in the middle of East Bay Street, and allegedly that was the first killing, or the first death from that earthquake. And it's significant to Charleston because we've only had one major earthquake, and that was in 1886. So, you guys done hearing me talk for a little bit? You want to take a hike?
Sure.
All right, we're going to head out this way. All right, bag is much lighter. Thank you all very much. What was your name again, sweetheart?
Mine?
Yeah.
Lauren.
Lauren. Did you just take a picture?
I did not.
Because I just got the word photograph.
You want me to?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Alright, so I promise you guys this will not be parking lots all night long. We are going to hit 2 from the start. This one is haunted, and it's kind of your playground. It's where me and London get to kind of walk around with you guys and show you how to use your gadgets and answer any kind of questions. So, first off, I do like to point out that the Crew Cafe behind you is haunted. They have asked me to do a full investigation for my podcast. However, COVID has interrupted all of our lives, so thank you for that. Can't wait to do that one. So this lot is where they keep the horses for the carriage rides. That's what this big red barn is. Those of you with lasers, including the infrared laser,
Sure.
cannot go anywhere near that booth. You will spook the horses and piss off my friends. I'm friends with those people. Jackson. Any Jacksons here in the group? No. Any last name Jacksons? Yeah. Just making sure. Again, I will always try to relate something to the word that pops up. Again, if I can't find that relation right away, I dismiss it. So, this is also the same red barn where they kept the horses for that delivered milk to Charleston. So that kind of dates it for you. We're talking 1860s to 1920s. So this barn does have some history. However, when I talk to these folks, they don't have any haunted stories. Where's our EMF? Who has it? What's going on there?
There was some.
So we got a little bit of orange
Yeah.
already. So sometimes it starts here, sometimes it waits until we're leaving. Pictures cannot be near cars or anybody else near us. So when you're taking pictures, try to make it at the top of the lot. I'm going to kind of walk through everybody's stuff. So you have a spirit box, correct? Yes. That's a spirit box. So yours is pretty loud, so I'm going to ask you to stay away from the windows of the barn. So that way we're not... If the horses kick, trust me, they will scare the shit out of all of us, including me, because it is loud. So we don't want to spook those ponies. Lee, I need nice slow sweeps on your thermal imaging camera.
Yeah.
And then Megan, if you can give us a nice base read with your infrared, just make sure that those red dots do
Nice
not
slow
go.
sweep.
Now your yellow device is not going to be super active all the time. It's more about your blue device.
Okay.
So you just want a nice base reading from all the different types of material coming by.
Right.
Guys, this is a parking lot. People will come in here to park and or move their cars, so just kind of be mindful of that. Laser grids. We are looking at, where's the grids at again? Who has them now? Okay.
Jackson is on your phone again, but it's spelled different.
Yeah, it is with an X. So, you guys literally are going to point those straight down and let it go 3 to 5 feet in front of you, and that's it. You want to be as still as possible with those grids. Again, me and London,
Not to linear cars, or is that just for pictures?
that's for pictures. So,
Don't get near the ponies.
yeah, you are definitely away from the ponies. So, what else do we have?
Shooting the
What else is
gun,
going
ain't
on? Spirit box. You're definitely going to be listening, but you can control your volume, so you feel free to go wherever you need to. Just stay within the parking lot. So I'm going to ask everybody to stay within the lot, and me and London will bounce around with all of you. And then
Not in the
we'll
eyeballs.
relax.
Does not have a big laser on it.
Yeah,
But
dude.
that
I
black
just
spirit
seen
box
it when
that
you hit
have,
that truck
just make
with
sure
it.
you're kind of staying clear of the other spirit boxes. Why I gave it to the other half of the group.
Okay.
So that way, when you're listening to it, you're not interfering or crossing the Alright, I know, bad Ghostbuster joke. I think we have one person that got it. Alright guys, let's go explore. And I'll kind of keep an eye on things, and me and London will start bouncing around with you. Let's see what we can capture in here.
All right.
You're
let's
listening
go.
for names. So, London, take the... go with the kids and kind of show them about questioning and how to go about that. Where's the other spirit box?
You see anything?
Oh, what are you looking at here?
In the blue spots. What are you talking about? Live them type blue spots with this? Like that?
That's the window. Yeah, that's the window.
So slow swipe. I don't see anything. I'm doing slow swipes and don't see nothing.
Yeah, because there might not be anything you. Cause he said, what is it supposed to look like? Blue streaks?
Yeah, he said blue streaks and blue spots, one of those.
Yeah, those that you're seeing right there are what, like the blue right
Blue.
there is where those metal
Where
things
the
are.
metal things, okay. I don't see anything.
Go right here because
Huh?
it's a lot warmer right there.
A lot warmer right there.
Well, it's like 89 and everywhere else is about 84.
Yes, 80. Yeah, 85 right here.
No, go right here. Do you see anything? Because it's like 89 in there.
Right there.
Yeah, this area is like a lot hotter. But I don't see anything.
I don't see anything. That's a kid. It's about 80 something right there.
Yeah, that's where I got a hotter reading too. I got a hotter reading right there, but I don't see it.
I don't see nothing. Look at this.
Why is it so much hotter right there though?
Mm. That's the kid right there.
Look, it went down.
It did?
It was 89. Okay, it's going back up. What is this? And it's hotter right there.
Mm.
Like, what should the temperature be? I wonder.
You want me to ask her?
I don't know.
Yeah, what should the temperature be?
Or higher or lower than, like, if you were to shoot this moon.
Okay, so it's like 84 over there, but it's like 90 over there. Just in that one area.
Yeah.
Like, a little bit of blue over there too, yeah.
Well, blue means colder.
Color, gotcha.
So it's like, what should you be thinking?
Yeah, what the wife supposed to say?
So, see how it's like a lighter blue and then it goes more into a darker blue?
Yeah.
That means the darker blue is colder than the lighter blue.
Gotcha.
And what we've learned recently is when something moves, like a warmer spot moves,
Mm-hmm.
it means a colder spot is moving too, because that energy can't be like replaced.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So, like, if you're getting a warmer spot where he's getting a blue spot, try to use the yellow device to see like where exactly it is.
Okay.
Because it won't be like on the wall.
Okay, gotcha.
You
Okay.
got it?
Let's go back over here and see if it's still saying the same thing.
They're
It's
having fun
lower.
this week.
It's a little bit lower.
Right
It's
here?
still pretty high, but it's about 2 degrees lower than it was earlier. So we should use this. I don't know how to use this, to be honest with you. I don't even know how to use this stuff.
It's colder right here. Then it's higher, colder. All right, right here it's like it's colder, then it gets hotter. So what did that mean?
So with your hand, it's not on a tripod stationary somewhere. So it's also going to calibrate about once every 3 minutes. So you've probably already seen that a few times. So when you're finding these things, it's literally going to fluctuate. What I'm really looking for is, I mean, you probably have a stationary 88 to 90 degrees. If something's really going to drop down, it's almost going to turn black. So when it turns black, that's the coldest spot. Like cold, like more than 15 degrees. That's, I mean, I'm looking for those dark blues and black. That's what I'm after. in the event that you actually have something, like you have red and orange over here, so let's say something yellow shows up in the middle of this. Now that's the light, obviously. We want something to be a few degrees colder. I have caught apparitions with this, just not in blue or black, but in a yellow. And it wasn't one of the people on my tour, and I verified it with a shadow we caught on the digital photographs. It was the same timestamp. So again, really what we're looking for, yeah, it's going to fluctuate. So, and the reason I love this light is because you have metal, you have brick, you have wood, you have, you know what I mean, you have all these different instances of the different types of temperature here. But those nice flow sweeps, because the camera technology is old, but the thermodynamic technology is new. So it's kind of a mixture of technologies. So I really need you to, you know, be that slow person. I mean, even because we do have like a weird break where we walk like 4 blocks to get to the next spot. By all means, try to keep up, but still hold it horizontal so that way it doesn't screw with the YouTube portion of it. You know what I'm talking about. So just try to keep up with us, and really, you can ask questions too. So what I told them about the spirit box, and I'm sure London told the other group as well, when you're asking questions to a spirit box, you want to ask the same question every 30 seconds or so. Because you want an answer. They're trying to muster the energy together to give you the answer through the audio here, or any of the 4 spirit boxes that are actually running. If you don't get an answer after about 2 minutes, then by all means, we can move on to another question. So you guys can ask questions too and just see what pops up. Sometimes we do get those EVPs that show up on the audio for the camera. So, I mean, you guys, actually, why I did this for you guys is because this is obviously something to watch, and you're obviously helping debunk some of the things that show up, but you also can use this as an EVP session. So you guys actually have, I gave you guys a lot on purpose, because you haven't had a few drinks. And again, they're having fun. That's what I need them to do. And they're going to learn a few things along the way. So hopefully they don't spook that punch. I'm going to have to move this along here pretty quickly. One of them horses is going to kick because it's pretty close. So my glasses fog up whenever I have this stupid mask on. But I think I've checked in with just about everybody but the kids. Have you guys checked in on them to see if they heard anything yet? Okay.
Y'all heard anything? Baby, did you get that?
Huh?
You get that?
You want me to do right here? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, right there.
I think it's just the door.
That's what it
It's a
is?
lot darker. The corner's a lot darker, but I think it's that hose.
Okay, well, I'm saying slow as possible.
Go back this way. There's some yellow. I just saw something yellow walk by. I really did.
Did you?
And the kids were right there. Maybe it was her. As soon as just like by, and I didn't even know. Okay, keep going. Go this way.
Remember that. Is anybody out there? You see anything? I'm going slow. I can't go no slow.
I don't see anything right now, but I really felt like I saw somebody a minute ago, but then I'm like second guessing if somebody walked by.
him.
Go up there. See how they look at night. Go up.
Right there. Yeah, I don't see nothing.
All right, guys. Let's go learn some history about Charles.
I ain't seen it.
Oh, I'm looking for food.
I don't see nothing.
Well, you're just gonna keep holding it. Ready. Making good.
know, another parking lot, right?
So exciting.
So, alright, so let's keep in mind, first off, this is another parking lot. There will be cars coming in and out. This one's a little busier than the last one. This one is super important to Charleston, so let me go through the drill here. Where you're standing is actually the Eliza and Charles Pinckney Mansion site. So, I'll go through briefly who these folks were, and then I'll do the direction again like I did with the last one. So, Eliza and Charles had a son named Charles, and they had a nephew named Charles. So, the son and the nephew were actually signers of the Constitution, so that's a big deal for Charles. However, Eliza, she is the more important person here, and I got the word framework. So, Eliza married Charles so that she could stay here in the United States. She was from England. Her daddy was sick, thought he was dying, he wanted her to come home. So, she didn't want to go. She married Charles to stay here and become a citizen. So that was a big deal. So, what happened after that is Dad got better, the two made amends, Dad started sending her gifts. The mansion would have been in the front, the garden would have been lined up right here, and then the slave homes would have been back here in the corner. Okay? What it sounds like. So one of the gifts that that came over from Dad was the plant indigo. So you guys, somebody's telling me you guys stayed at the Indigo Inn. It's named after that plant. That plant gives us blue dye, which is what makes our blue jeans blue. We still use it today. That plant started right where you're standing. It's a big deal for Charleston because our rice plantations went to hell in a handbasket and we didn't have another good cash crop to bank on. So Eliza became the businesswoman back in 1760s to the people overseas to sell this indigo plantation. So it's a huge deal. Now, those of you with spirit boxes, I'm going to give you a few questions they ask, but I'm not going to give you the answers, so that way I'm not putting suggestive thoughts. Kind of like the word red came up, crossover. Interesting. Kind of like the word red came up with the barn. You know what the answer is, so you're listening for it. This is going to be a little different. Eliza was the second wife named Eliza from Charles. So find out what her maiden name was, because that's what she goes by. So he got married to an Eliza, and then married Eliza blank Pinckney. Find out what the blank is. She had 4 kids. Only one was a daughter. Find out what the daughter's name was. Find out what happened to the mansion. Find out how she died. Again, non-yes or no questions. Do not ask if somebody here. It's lame. Those are ghost hunting TV show questions. We don't do that here. Right. I am not Zach Vegas. I get that all the time. So those are the types of things you want to ask. Where did you die? How did you die? How old were you when you died? These are very specific answers that I know all of them. So those are examples. Again, wait 30 seconds or so in between each session. Again, we want to keep the lasers below the wall. So those of you with lasers, all of you, Megan included, keep those lasers below the wall. Who's got the EMF now? The little flashy blinky thing. That's that thing. Okay. EMF. If you stand up here with us in London and then face that building. Yep. Face that building and hold up your EMF like you're going to take a picture with it. It is in sync with the light on the back of that restroom. Anybody kind of see that? Which is good. It doesn't always blink. Sometimes it's all the way on. Sometimes it's not on at all. It wasn't on at all the other night. Just to kind of give you a clue. But it is in sync. I was already watching. So it just tells me that we're going to actually have some good activity. There's going to be a car backing up and exiting out this way, so we're going to actually head back over to here. So, this is definitely a spirit box is up. Laser grids below the wall. Picture be wary because there's so many vehicles. Lee, get me a nice slow sweep all the way around. Walk around plenty of times.
Yeah.
Rowan and Juliet, again, keep asking those type of questions and listen intently. And then, of course, a nice base reading from you with the temperature. If you don't mind any help, keep an eye on some of the cold spots.
Right there is 85 right here.
I think this is the car though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it dropped for me 5 degrees, but I think it's the difference between the wall and the car.
Yeah. You see anything?
Yeah, over here.
Hmm?
Do you see anything? I don't see anything. I got temperatures. I got an 85 like right in there. It could just be because it's more shaded. Do you have a blue? See in here? Could be that thing. 83.
That's an 88.
Eliza, what happened to your van card?
I got a 87.
Yeah. We want lower temperatures. Like 5 degrees lower. Oh, this is 81. I heard the cars though. I think where I'm feeling the lower temperatures is the cars.
I got 85, 84 right here.
Yeah, I got like 83, 84, 85 too, but that's not 5 left. Go right here.
Right there?
Right here, I got an 83 just a second ago. It's 90 in most places, or they're 89.
Yeah. And right here, this was about. Right there. 85, 86. Right there.
I don't see anything.
I don't see nothing. I'm trying to see something. What about you? Yeah. $87, $88.
Yeah, that's about average though.
Looking for 80 below?
Like a 5-degree difference.
Right here?
What?
Right there. I just seen you hitting 90. Right here.
That's too high. You
89,
want
90.
low. You want 5 degrees lower. Well, I hit 85 like.
Yeah, that's 90.
I'm gonna go check on the other bunch of folks so you get a nice, good round picture on there. I like how you're panning nice and slow. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get too many good cameramen.
That was a 96, what you just hit.
Kind of boring. 84. So 84 right there, beside the car.
Right there?
But I sometimes think it's getting like the cars are cooler. It probably was just hit the car.
Mm-hmm. 79. Maybe that could have been because of the car. Eighty-eight. 85. 85. I'm ready to see something. This is 81 round here. 81.6. So that was a car just now. No, let's back that way. Let's back this way.
Did she tell you?
So 88. Mm-hmm. You see anything?
coming up? If you asked any types of questions?
It keep fluctuating, but
So if I were a thief, this would be a great tool to steal cars because I can see which cars have been here the longest by their heat signature.
yeah.
But I'm not a car thief. I'm a ghost owner. So whenever you got things in a distance, like those trees, it's really getting confused because it only sees the temperature. So that's why you got the outskirt of that purple.
Gotcha.
So it's a little bit warmer because of the building. So it's going to give you that blended look.
So,
All right, I'm going to give them a few more minutes with that spirit box, and then we'll kind of move things along. Is the temperature kind of matching up with what he's finding with your guns too?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it has been.
Sorry, I'm trying to keep them tame.
No, you good, you good, man. Go right ahead. You good? Yeah. This is really cool. What'd you ask? All right. You.
I knew it. I felt it in my bones.
It actually started on the second floor up in that corner. That's why you did take a spirit box up there firsthand. So that's why I took you guys over there. I wanted to test your spirit box. That house actually caught fire. So they had to move into their other plantation home further in the city farm. So, there's pictures of that. So what else was the other you got? Plants. You usually get things that relate to botany. Soil, dirt, plants, certain kinds of plants. We'll get all kinds of things, but she did get the word plants. I did get the term scare her. So Emerson, good on you. Emerson's name came up on the spirit box in case you guys missed that. So I mean, the 4 people heard that?
Yeah, we all heard it.
So unfortunately theirs does not record. You guys have a recordable device. So we're going to take 4 people's word for it that Emerson's name was loud and clear.
Yeah.
I did get the word framework, which is interesting because I think of a house whenever I got framework. So Eliza wasn't super active for me tonight, but we don't know what came up on the audio. And or that spirit box that they were holding over here that I will listen to, of course, ahead of time. So we are going to head out for about 4 blocks that way. So I do walk somewhat swift, so that way we can get through all of our locations. I know that might be rough for some of y'all. Lauren, you gonna be okay?
I'm good.
All right. You keep bending over like you're ready. Whew, that's a hike. So we're gonna head up to Lodge Alley. So those of you with spirit boxes, please keep listening as we walk. Lee, obviously we already talked about the walk up there. Just try to keep up with us.
Yeah.
Lasers are an absolute no-go on East Bay Street. So if you have a laser, keep them off or in your pocket to resist the temptation. EMF. So your little blinky light thing is gonna go crazy on that street. Do not get excited. It's from the parking meters. And I don't like to make stuff up for y'all. You guys need the real deal. That's why you all are here. You want proof, just like me. You got the word one. Probably you guys not use the lasers on East Bay Street. Let's just put it this way. Lasers will get me arrested. That in your pocket. That's a big deal. All right. Everybody good? Anybody need to use a restroom? We are going to pass. Everybody good? London, you good?
Good.
Possibly? Okay. Well, it's right up here at the corner. We'll wait for you if you need to go. So let's head out this way, and it will be somewhat of a masked up area. If it's busy, I will turn around and say, let's get masks up, just so that we're safe.
All right.
For me getting a fine from someone turning me up.
What that thing say, burn?
It's a step up first.
But what did yours say? Yeah.
It did repeat 40 a couple times. I was over there. But we don't know the significance.
Okay. Yeah.
Charles, and then there's a man's voice that just said, good question.
Okay.
Same with me.
I don't.
That's normally where I run into before I meet with y'all to make sure I'm good.
Yeah.
So is this what you guys thought it was going to be?
Oh yeah, it's
Or
good.
is this what you thought it was going to be? You didn't know what was going on? There's a restroom inside here if you need to go. You're good? All right. There's
All right,
not another
let's-
one later. All right. Maybe. Love it.
See what we got now.
Make sure everybody made it across.
All right. Oh Lord, they're gonna get ran over.
I'm trying to check out your ink, dude. You keep moving on me.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
All right, I think we got everybody now.
This is cool.
Put London in the back. Try to keep a head count.
Yeah.
Be my sheepdog back there. Herd him along.
You need.
It's actually only my second, bachelorette party.
Oh yeah.
And they're having fun. That's
Yeah,
the goal, right?
yeah.
We'll slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
So that thing is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, it is.
And that's the real deal too. Like plumbers and electricians use that. Like
Okay.
it's not like some rinky-dink toy I got off a Wish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I bought it straight from Clear.
Okay.
Because I tried the different apps and none of them worked.
Yeah.
Not the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
I have to check everybody's shoes. We're gonna be going down a bumpy alley.
All right.
I normally look at that when I'm
Well, you might need to help somebody back that down, man.
I put London back there.
See, put me on the- Oh man. All right. All right. Yeah.
Alright, so before you get the different part of read that guy, and you know that you don't pay attention to what it's doing right now. They're smart with you. Pays attention. Ron just hasn't said much. I can't make that determination yet. No
Yeah.
offense, buddy. I'm sure you're just as smart as she is. Sorry guys, I want an umbrella. I think I'm drunk right now. I'm good.
You sure?
Yep. Alright, we can cross. We got
Yeah.
the Eliza site that people don't make it through.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of EMF going on in there. It makes a lot of
Okay.
people sick. So I try not to spend too long there and kind of gauge how people are feeling.
Yeah.
So the fact that one girl kept leaning over,
Mhm.
she was feeling it.
Yeah.
So I said that's when she was okay.
Yeah.
I had a witch on this tour that literally passed out.
Oh
We
yeah.
were leaving there, dropped like a wet noodle.
Pretty cool.
Oh, look at that. You guys got yourself your own little private tour now.
Yeah, sure. Loving it.
I'm still going to give them all the audio and all that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I'll text Alexandria in the morning.
Yeah.
What's funny is I think that they booked so far in advance, just like you guys.
Mhm.
Like it was weeks and weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
So I'm surprised. Alright, we're gonna make a right down this alley.
All right.
London, obviously you want to grab some pictures for that real quick? Is anybody down there? No, perfect. Take two. You know the rules.
One person came out.
It's okay. It's not one of us.
Okay.
And we can't make out who the heck they are. I'm
Mm.
really looking for those light anomalies and the weird things that actually happen down this alley. How you doing, guys? So we'll step away from their break real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I usually stop right there, but we'll come up that way we're not bugging now.
All
So
right.
guys, this is Lodge Alley. This is one of the oldest streets in Charleston. People used to live here.
Hmm.
I don't know the meaning of that word. Contrition? Guys, phone? Pull it up for me, please. So it works anywhere. However, you have to be aware of your surroundings. So we just passed up Magnolia, the restaurant, which means it has a lot of lighting in there. It has a lot of kitchenware, so it should have went a little less down there. But if I do get something down here, it's usually one of the residents that used to live here. I do get
Stay the ceiling in more school or
tenants. In the Roman Catholic Church, the repentance of past sins during or after confession. So, the repent of sins after you confessed. Contrition. Makes sense now. Don't know that it relates to anything here, because we didn't have any preachers down here that lived here. I'm trying to go through the roster of names in my head. There's a lot of like grocers and mirrors and seamen and those kind of things, because the water, what I didn't explain to you guys because I was trying to keep things short, was that Charleston, the peninsula, used to be much skinnier. The stuff we have now is all man-made on the outskirts of it, so it makes it look much bigger on the map. So the water would have been much closer, probably by a good block and a half. So you can imagine the low tide smell that would come through here if they lived here. They did, do an archaeological dig in between the bricks. They found some of their silverware and some of their tools and little articles of their clothing, and they consider these people low class. So they were poor. They did not do well in the city of Charleston, but this is where they lived. So I do get one gentleman that pops up from time to time. His name is Benjamin. His name has come up several times on my spirit box. We've heard the name Ben on the other spirit boxes. So it is, man, that's interesting. So this is a really cool place to check out. Not to mention, not a whole lot of ghost tours come down here. They will mention it. And if you go on an alley tour, yeah, you're definitely going to come down here. But like an actual ghost hunting tour, no. I did catch a full apparition up here with the thermal imaging. This is where I was telling you where I caught it and verified it with the camera. It was against that half wall up there on the left. So when you're up in that area, just do a quick 360 for me all the way around, and we'll kind of see if anything pops up. There is some mud on that brick, so don't be fooled. Mud is going to be much cooler than brick. So don't look at it and say, Nick, there's something there. It's mud. I can almost guarantee it. We're looking for something moving, not something solid.
Gotcha.
Spirit box we can definitely listen to on the way out, Rowan. So kind of tell me what you hear. You might actually hear things that happened here. There were some arguments that made it to the paper, and one lady was arrested, and so forth and so on. I used to tell stories here of what I used to do with the psychic up in Myrtle Beach, but there's been so much activity here that's relatable.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard to deny. The building behind me is Lodge Alley Inn. They have their own ghosts. They all have a ghost here in Charleston, as I'm sure you guys all know. The hotels all have some kind of claim, but nobody can tie it to history, nor have I done an investigation there, so I'm not going to claim anything on this building behind me. So just because they kind of took up a lot of our time at the beginning, I'll kind of hit up a few extra spots for y'all that I keep in my back pocket for the smaller tours, so that way we can actually get your money's worth out of this. Because there is a lot of extra, like 5 or 6 extra stories that I keep in my back pocket. But yeah, let's definitely do a quick 360 once you reach that half wall, and then Monday we'll take some pictures going the opposite way. See if we get any anomalies. And Rowan, please let us know what you hear. And again, it is recording now anyway, so if he doesn't hear anything, we still have the recording. And then we'll kind of go into the next alley and see what's going on there.
All right.
Excuse us, boss. So again, you can kind of see the mud on the wall.
Yeah.
So this is where I caught it before. I haven't caught anything since. That was probably a good month and a half ago.
Gotcha.
Just a nice 360 all the way around. Get actual people in there so it has to fluctuate, and we can kind of guess who's who. Grab a pink solo picture going back here. That usually makes a nice shot. Quality shot.
You're supposed to video it all the way around.
Did you ask him anything yet, Rowan? Recently? Are you good? No?
Yeah. I'm getting bit. I'm getting bit.
Yeah, so we can
Yeah.
take a picture on this way. We've had a lot of weird light shadowy type things show up in here. So, like pictures, video, things I can review visually, readings.
I'm getting bit.